Good afternoon, graduands and guests. Many of you are nearby in our community, and many others are watching and joining us from all around the world. Wherever you're watching from today, I would like to welcome you to Vancouver Community College's Fall 2021 Convocation, our third convocation to be held virtually. My name is David Wells, and I am the Vice President Academic and Applied Research here at VCC. And my ancestry is Cree Métis from the Treaty 6 territory, although I've been raised on the lands of the Hulkaminam and Hunkaminam speaking peoples for my entire life. It is my privilege to serve as Master of Ceremonies on this special day. I would like to begin by acknowledging that we are holding this ceremony on the unceded homeland of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh First Nations, on whose territories we have the privilege to be able to live, work, and learn every day. It is important that I acknowledge what this means to me. And for me, the acknowledgement is that I acknowledge that I am an uninvited visitor to these lands, and that has caused disruption. And just as that has caused disruption, it is also important to note the disruption that has been caused by institutions such as VCC, many of whom, such as our VCC Broadway campus, exist on lands that had life-giving meaning and purpose to the peoples who have lived here long before we have come to create this disruption. What we know is, what we now refer to as China Creek, for example, flows directly underneath this campus. And that was an important water source. I'll come back to this topic of disruption because I think it is important as we move forward as an institution. But first, and as is our tradition, I am pleased to present VCC's Indigenous Elder, Deanna George of the Tsleil-Waututh Nation, to offer welcome to the traditional territory.
Good day. My ancestral name is Synthalia, and I'm from the Tsleil-Waututh Nation. I'd like to welcome you all to the Coast Salish territories of the Musqueam, the Squamish, and the Tsleil-Waututh Nations. Welcome. Please stand for prayer. Ochasiam, Creator, Grandfathers, Grandmothers, we thank you for this day. We pray to you to bless all the students for all the hard work they've accomplished in attaining success in their studies. This journey has been so different for all of us. You had to go online for your studies, and we have to gather by video to celebrate your graduation. I hold my hands up to you all for having a strong commitment to success. We ask the Creator to bless and guide you on your next part of your journey in your new careers, to bless your family, to bless your friends, and to bless your loved ones who have helped and guided you throughout the year. Haisepka.
Thank you, Elder D. I would also like to acknowledge the following nations and communities which are represented by graduating students today. The Squamish Nation, Gitxsan and Nisga'a Nations, the Delaware Nation of Moraviantown, Anishinaabe from the Chippewa of Kettle and Stony Point, and the Métis Nation. A little earlier, I referenced my acknowledgement of the disruption I have caused as an uninvited visitor to this land. To disrupt means to dislocate, unsettle, or interrupt, and can and has been horrific, such as that which has been visited upon the communities indigenous to Turtle Island. If we are to decolonize as a place of learning, VCC must be prepared to embrace disruption to the colonial knowledge and practices that inform so much of what we teach and do. This disruption is necessary to make the space for and have the intent to bring forward Indigenous knowledge and practice in our teaching, learning, and research. I believe VCC is at a place to undertake this journey. Between all that we have learned over the past 2 years of working through the COVID pandemic in terms of how students like to learn and how we can teach, to our commitment to decolonization of what we do and how we educate, to our need for sustainability with what we do and how we educate as a place of learning, VCC finds itself learning all that can come from disruption, just as you have in your course of study. The Truth and Reconciliation Commission calls to action, the Declaration on the Rights of Indigenous Peoples Act, and reports such as In Plain Sight show us a fraction of how much more we have to learn and the disruption we must embrace in order to come to that learning. As we take this journey, we are tremendously fortunate to have such a diverse population of students, such as the 400 graduates with us today, and many more who have earned credentials but were not able to join us today. Our strong representation of Indigenous students, culturally diverse first, second, and third language learners, diverse ability students, and learners with a greater age and socioeconomic diversity than any other college bring to VCC the diverse knowledge, practice, and ways of being that are needed to confront our practices and disrupt the way we go about carrying out our mandate. More than most post-secondary students, you have confronted disruption throughout your lives. And we believe and hope that the disruption you have engaged in coming to VCC for the development of knowledge and relationships is a regenerative disruption that will carry you forward in your own stories. As an institution, we have much that we can and must learn from you as VCC experiences the essential disruption ahead. I would like to take this time to introduce Spakwis Slalom, which translates to Eagle Song Dancers, who are members of the Squamish Nation. Geographically located in what is called the Lower Mainland of British Columbia, the Squamish Nation traditional territory being the Howe Sound, Vancouver to Whistler area. The Squamish have lived and utilized this area for over 10,000 years, having history traced back to the Great Flood and the Ice Age. The Squamish are coastal people, people of the cedar longhouses, of the great seagoing canoes, the racing war canoes, people of the salmon, sharing a cultural history that is steeped in tradition, spirituality, canoes, family history, legends, and stories of their ancestors. Spakwis Slalom is pleased and honored to present songs and dances of yesterday, as well as today, and feel very honored to represent their peoples in a good way, as their ancestors intended. I have had the great fortune on numerous occasions to bear witness to presentations from Spakwis Slalom, and have much gratitude for what I have learned from presentations by and in conversation with Elder Bob Baker. Please welcome Spakwis Slalom.
On behalf of our families, our Squamish Nation, Tsleil-Waututh, Musqueam, we are honored to be here to share in this moment on this journey, to acknowledge the land that we're in, and to acknowledge the things that have taken place and in the spirit of which those have taken place. The procedure, what they call protocol, is what we're sharing with you in the form of a blessing song that neutralizes negativity, heaviness, which is our tradition, to be able to wipe the slate clean so that we can go forward together in a good way. Song is known as Tum Tum Slalom, a blessing song. We use this song to bless our canoes, our longhouses, our ceremonies. Comes from a very sacred place. Tum Tum Slalom is our Squamish name. Snowbird is the word that we can describe it in English, but not the Anne Murray version, the other one. So we'd like to share that with you right now, according to our traditions. And we thank you for that wonderful introduction. We thank you for allowing us to be here to share this little bit of teaching. OCM. Whoa. Congratulations to everyone participating. And again, thank you. Safe journey. Aj Patel, OCM.
Thank you, Spakwa Slalom, for that performance. I would like to raise my hands to you in gratitude. Next, wherever you are watching from, I would invite you to stand, if you are able, and join us for the singing of our national anthem.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north strong and free. From far and wide, oh Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land glorious and free. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee. Oh, Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
We are here to recognize your hard work and your dedication to learning. This is your time, and the future holds great promise for each of you. We are so pleased to be here today to celebrate your success. You should all be very proud of your achievements. I would now like to ask Joey Hartman, Chair of the VCC Board of Governors, joining us through Zoom, to provide us with her greetings to this year's graduates.
Thank you, David Wells, and good afternoon, everybody. And welcome to the many family and friends who I know have joined you today to celebrate your graduation with you. I'm joining you today from the unceded and traditional territories of the Tsarslip people on Main Island, British Columbia, and those folks have been the stewards immemorial for these lands. On behalf of the Board of Governors of Vancouver Community College, I'm proud and honored to be here to celebrate your convocation today. And I'm also joined by two other board members. They are Maheen Rashid and also student board member Ladan Saray. And Ladan was just re-elected to the board 2 weeks ago, and she is one of your two student board members. So she is your representative to the board, and there she is on screen. VCC's Board of Governors guide the vision and the goals of the college, and being able to share in your achievements, the students of VCC, is the best of what we ever get to do. It's our whole purpose of being here. And pursuing your dreams is never very easy, but graduating in the time of COVID during a pandemic is an even more extraordinary achievement considering everything you've had to go through. I commend you all for your resilience and your dedication, and you've shown to complete your education. I remember my own graduation from college and what a sense of achievement that was, and the real deep gratitude I had to my instructors and the sense of belonging I had with the students who I'd gone through that program with, and I'm sure you are having some of those same feelings. It's a special day and the time has gone so quickly, I'm sure. I really encourage you to take a moment to reflect on your own journey and take some pride in how far you've been able to come. You've learned a lot of skills at VCC that are needed to grow and flourish in uncertain times. And perhaps your next steps will be to consider your chosen career and take a job in that career. Or maybe you're going to go through further studies, but whatever you do, I have no doubt that the education that you've received here at VCC has helped to prepare you for success. We're really excited to see you take all of you learn and become leaders in your community and your work. And this class of the fall of 2021 is creative, agile, and really, we know, so able to deal with any problem that comes your way. So you, as our graduate, we know that you are ready and eager and willing to take on those challenges. And even today, as you graduate, you will always be part of the VCC community. You are the alumni of this college, and that's a very special group indeed. We hope that you will keep in touch and that we will continue to hear about your successes as you go forward. Congratulations to all of you. I'll now turn to President Aj Patel to share some remarks. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Joey. Good afternoon, everybody. I want to begin by acknowledging that I'm speaking to you from our Broadway campus, which is on the traditional and unceded territory of the Musqueam, Squamish, and Tsleil-Waututh people who have been stewards of our land since time immemorial. On behalf of the Vancouver Community College Board of Governors and our incredible community of faculty and staff, I welcome all of you to our Fall 2021 Convocation ceremony. What you have accomplished during your time at VCC is simply profound. Graduating today is a result of your hard work and commitment, as well as the family members, the friends, the mentors, the employers who contributed and were part of your journey and your success today. Congratulations. I am really extremely proud of each and every one of you. As we've heard acknowledged by Elder D and Vice President David Wells, we study, work, live on the lands of Indigenous peoples. And it is important for us to reflect on what that really means. We have seen and shared the truth about Indigenous children taken from their families across Canada. And we continue to witness events of injustice, violence around the world, driven by hate and discrimination. So as you enter into the working world as VCC graduates, my challenge to you is to use your learning and education for good. We need you to fight that racism and discrimination. We need you to stand up for fairness and kindness. Our path to healing and reconciliation requires all of us committing to learning about our shared past, listening to the Indigenous truths, and working respectfully together for a just, equitable, and inclusive future. To quote a personal hero of mine, Nelson Mandela, he said, "Education is the most powerful weapon which you can use to change the world." The power of education extends beyond the development of skills we need for economic success. Education, in fact, can contribute to nation building and reconciliation. And I would like you to keep those words in mind. Today, even though we can't be here together in person as much as I would like to be, I want to highlight how much you have accomplished despite the challenges of the COVID pandemic. Your cohort, unlike any others, has experienced post-secondary education in a way that no one has before. Throughout the pandemic, you have learned to adapt. You have learned to thrive. Your learning has actually made you more resilient. It's made you wiser. And most importantly, it's made you stronger. I invite you to take a moment now and think about how you've come together to support each other. How your families, friends, employers, instructors, classmates, and community have supported you on this journey. Vancouver Community College is about lifting each other up as you pursue your own dreams. And continuing to pursue your passion and dreams is how you thrive. It's how we all thrive and is the hope that we have. This is what we refer to as our VCC effect. So, to all of you graduating today, this next chapter is yours to write, and you are well equipped to do so. In this next chapter, I encourage you to take everything you've learned from here and continue the good work that VCC grads before you have done. During COVID, our graduates have risen to the challenge. When our health authorities needed medical professionals to conduct COVID-19 testing or vaccinations or caring for the sick in ICUs, our VCC Health Science graduates lined up to help. When the city needed to prepare meals for the downtown East Side neighbors, our VCC culinary grads were there to help them out. VCC grads, like each and every one of you, provided childcare, kept delivery trucks running. You cut our hair, you kept us entertained, you used technology to innovate, and you contributed in countless other ways to maintain the strength and the well-being of our entire community. This, again, is our VCC effect. So as VCC grads, You are now what we look to continue that important work. We need you to advance our healthcare system. We need you to pursue new, sustainable, and clean practices in business, hospitality, and culinary. We need you to innovate the automotive industry, the food industry, fashion, and beauty. We need you to keep learning. We need you to keep growing because our world is changing faster than ever. And at VCC, we promise to keep up with these changes and to be ready whenever you need us next. And no matter where you are or what you are doing, please remember to continue your own personal journey of reconciliation. I know over the past year you've heard this phrase quite often, that we're in this all together, but today I want to give it a positive sign. We've learned together, we've accomplished together, and today I invite each and every one of you as graduates to celebrate together. So to all of our graduates, welcome to the proud family of the VCC alumni. Congratulations to each and every one of you.
Thank you, AJ. It is now my pleasure to introduce your valedictorian, Vanvisa Satagam. Vanvisa is a graduate of VCC's Culinary Arts program and recipient of the Mueller Family Culinary Arts Award. Born in Bangkok, Thailand, she developed an early interest in cooking when she would prepare meals with her family. In 2016, she made the move to Vancouver and quickly found herself working in the culinary industry. With the goal of further developing her skills in the kitchen, Vanvisa joined VCC's Culinary Arts program, which reignited her passion for food. Since graduating, she has enjoyed exploring all her opportunities and is currently a chef at Dynasty Dumpling House, a cook at Stanley Park Brewing Restaurant and Brew Pub, and a casual third cook at the Fairmont Pacific Rim. I can't imagine many more than that. You can also see Vanvisa on billboards and buses, one of the faces of VCC's new ad campaign. Vanvisa.
Thank you for the kind introduction, and hello everyone. I am very honored by this incredible opportunity. At the beginning of my program, like I'm sure many of you felt, I was worried that 2 years of school would pass slowly, but I enjoy my time at VCC so much. I can't believe it's already over. To me, VCC is like my second home. Many memories will stay with me forever. The aroma of stock, being prepared in the morning, being inspired by my instructor on my first day of class, or the opportunity to volunteer at prestigious events like Bachanalia Wine Festival Gala Dinner at Fairmont Hotel, Vancouver. The knowledge and skill I learned at VCC make me feel ready to achieve my dream. This experience has motivated me to continue to advance in this incredible industry. My next goal is to become a restaurant chef. It's also encouraging to have graduates from college that will recognize in my industry. I have connected with my VCC graduates in the industry who are proud to be a part of VCC community. I would like to thank all of my instructors, specific Chef Hamin, for their patient guidance, the Miller family for their gorgeous donation, and steadfast support from Culinary Art Department and VCC as a whole. all are important factors that motivate me to be a success in my future career. Thank you so much. I wish everyone courage at your step ahead toward your new adventure. Congratulations, and may all your other dreams be fulfilled. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Vanvisa, and congratulations on your achievements. It is now my honor to present two very special awards. The Lieutenant Governor's Medal Program was established in 1979. Effective 2019, the medal criteria was revised to recognize outstanding students who made significant contributions to the promotion of diversity and inclusion, democracy, or reconciliation. It is awarded to students in BC public post-secondary schools who have completed a certificate, diploma, or degree program. It is my honor to present Lieutenant Governor's Medal for Inclusion, Democracy, and Reconciliation to Courtney Kopak. Courtney is a proud Lenape person of Delaware Nation, Lenape Lackey White, Turtle Clan from the Hotpins family. She is currently working at the Musqueam Indian Band as a program coordinator and job coach support. Courtney's educational journey is one of reconnection to her roots, embracing her culture, and most importantly, taking pride in her Indigenous identity. In receiving this award, she hopes to inspire other Indigenous individuals to pursue all their educational goals and to always dream big. Congratulations, Courtney. You are an invaluable role model. Our next award is the Governor General's Academic Medal, which was first awarded in 1873 by the Earl of Dufferin, and has since become one of the most prestigious awards that a student in a Canadian educational institution can receive. The Governor General of Canada continues this tradition of encouraging scholarship across the nation and recognizing outstanding students. It is my honor to present the Governor General's Academic Medal to Emily Coddle. Emily chose the practical nursing program to kickstart a fulfilling career as a nurse so that she could deliver hands-on care to others. She knew VCC was the right fit when she was challenged and pushed to grow academically and as a person. Since graduating, she has been working in long-term care at Kiwanis Care Center and is gaining new experiences every day. Congratulations, Emily. VCC graduates almost 3,000 students every year. Each and every one has an individual path and a unique story to share. Success comes in many forms and presents itself in very different ways. At VCC, we truly honor and celebrate the successes of our students and our graduates. Today, we are fortunate to have an alumni with us share her story. It is my privilege to introduce you to Chef Laura Daw, a Red Seal chef, certified chef de cuisine, and winner of the 2005 VCC Outstanding Alumni Award. She has competed at Skills Canada on numerous occasions, the BC Chefs Association Junior Chapter competitions at the Restaurant Association shows, and was one of the 10 provincial finalists for the CCF NOR competition in 2004. In 2005, Laura was one of 2 provincial finalists to compete against one another in the BC TV The Next Great Chef, and she won. She joined the national competition, winning the title, The Next Great Chef. Laura was featured in Reader's Digest as part of the Best in Canada feature, and has worked as a chef at Lumiere, the Marriott Pinnacle Hotel, and Diva at the Met. At the time Laura received her Outstanding Alumni Award, her stated goal was to become a VCC instructor so that she may be able to give back a little of what she had received from her mentors. I'm happy to say she has achieved that goal and is currently teaching the Culinary Youth Train in Trades program. Please welcome Chef Laura Daw.
President Patel, members of the Board of Governors, deans, faculty, graduates, including your friends and family, I am pleased to be here today to offer congratulations to you on behalf of the Vcc Alumni Committee. My name is Laura Daw, and I'm a culinary arts instructor here at Vcc and a proud alumna of our school. I was in your shoes 20 years ago. I remember being a student back then, knowing that at some point I would be returned to the school as an instructor to give back the inspiration and knowledge I gained from our dedicated staff. As I look back on the last 20 years, at the opportunities that I have experienced as a result of my hard work and dedication, and the support and connections of our dedicated faculty, I am astonished at how much I've been able to experience and accomplish. Today is a milestone. It tells you how far you've come. Keep learning, keep trying, keep accomplishing, and keep venturing on through your journey. Michelle Obama wrote, "For me, becoming isn't about arriving somewhere or achieving a certain aim. It is instead a forward motion, a means of evolving, a way to reach continually forward towards a better self. The journey doesn't end." These past years as a student, you have had to be resilient and be able to adapt at the drop of a dime. As faculty, we've had to dig deep and think outside the ways of traditional education. I want you to use that same resilience and dedication to propel yourself forward into your careers and life. VCC has a rich history of producing successful, passionate students who are ready to enter the workforce. As this pandemic has taught us, life is not always easy. You will be thrown curveballs, but now you have the tools to be able to move through those and steer your careers towards upwards, no matter what life throws at you. Continue to work hard, remain focused on your goals. Let your passions for your field guide you, but most of all, enjoy yourself along the way. Success is only meaningful and enjoyable if you own it. So own it.
Thank you very much for joining us today, Laura. And thank you for sharing your inspiring words. I will now call on VCC President Aj Patel to certify the graduands. It is with great pleasure that I hereby certify that the graduands joining us today and those in absentia have met the requirements for the credentials and awards to be presented this day as prescribed by the registrar. I ask that you,
quickly recall,
as president of Vancouver Community College, confer upon them their credentials.
hoping to catch it.
By the virtue of the authority vested in me by the statutes of the province of British Columbia, and upon my recommendation and the recommendation of the registrar of Vancouver Community College, I admit to each and every one of you the credential to which you are entitled, and invest with you all the rights and privileges, powers and responsibility pertaining to the credential. Congratulations, everybody.
All right, now is the time that everyone has been waiting for. And honestly, if you had any more of me, I'd fall asleep. This is a time for celebration. And although we are not together in person, I welcome you to celebrate from wherever you are joining us from. So I invite you to cheer on your fellow graduates and use the chat function in Zoom to congratulate your friends and classmates. One thing we ask, out of respect to your fellow graduates, is to remain watching and remain in the Zoom call as all of the names are read. Before I leave you for today, I would like to thank our Convocation team and the many volunteers who make this day possible. I raise my hands to you all. I would also like to thank and acknowledge Spakwaslalom for that wonderful performance earlier this afternoon. I would also like to thank our interpreters, Julia Menzies and Shi Yang. During the presentation of our graduating students, you will hear music performed by some of our students. So I would like to thank Aaron McKinney, Todd Stewart, Brendan Steele, Dean Edward Thiessen, Ardashir Purkaramati, and Brent Ma for their performances that you are about to enjoy. Finally, thank you to everyone who is joining us and watching this celebration in a different format than we are normally accustomed to for Convocation. We will now ask deans from each school to present the names of this year's graduates. In room 1, I invite Dennis Innes, Dean of the School of Hospitality, Food Studies, and Applied Business to the stage. And in room 2, I invite Joellen Zakur, Dean of the School of Health Sciences, to the stage to present the graduating students from their respective schools. Please enjoy the rest of the ceremony.
David, and hello to everyone watching. My name is Joellen Zakur, and I am the Dean of the School of Health Sciences. We have now reached the point in the ceremony where we will be presenting our fall 2021 graduating students. I am very pleased to be presenting the graduating students from the School of Health Sciences. We begin with a student graduating with an Acute Care for Healthcare Assistance Short Certificate, Marissa Thomas. And now students who earned a Bachelor of Science in Nursing degree, Felina Ali, Taylor Anderson, Portia Benuin, Nadia Dean, Angela Jacome, Tristan Wanima, Sharn Kang, Julia Katalevsky, Shobina Kumar, Lauren Lebick, Cynthia Pang, Samira Lufty, Shazina Maje, Sherlina Mack, Daljit Mann, Silvana Mayot, Christine Munoz, Momena Nasri, Jane Ochoran, Tim Pang, Kajal Parmar, K. Patrick Patina, Magdalena Posadiad, Emma Santos, Namrata Sharma, Crystal Tang, Ruth Tawalda, Annie Say. Next are graduates from the Certified Dental Assisting Certificate Program. Nilofar Agabigya. Rebecca Bukhari. Shairajin Kaomban. Jezra Quarry. Rose David. Kriza Garcia. Lucia Hawaris. Sandrine Niyabijira. Nikita Purcell. Monique Rakuten. Emma Schallenberg. Summer Shahar. Shani Warsami. Betty Wu. Bonnie, and now graduates who earned a dental hygiene diploma. Bonnie Chan. Erica Cristobal. Sandra Hu. Charlene Huyn. Jasmine Havilio. Gabrielle Cam. Kieran Kaur. Jaspreet Kara. Natalie Shine. Priya Tierra. Kiana Yarzada. And now, graduates with a Dental Reception Coordinator certificate. Beyonce Domingo. Next, we are presenting graduates with a Healthcare Assistant certificate. Darcy Benitez Idrovo. Albert Chen. Kimberly Gonu Johnson. Rahel Grunder Teref. Diana Harazano. Denise Liang. Karhe Liang. Natasha Schneider. Renor Santa Ana. Haruka Watanabe. And now students graduating with a Health Unit Coordinator certificate. Tess Ackerman. Ethel Aniobe. Barbette Kaiser. Emily Lee Mason. Kimberly Williams. Nicole Wolf. Yan Yang. Lana Zasoff. Next are students who completed the Practical Nursing Certificate of Completion program. Glenn Apurado. Gurpreet Bamber. Rapinderjeet Bandel. Anna Marie Caleb. Nina Francis. Lovepreet Gadra. Harwinder Gill. Parminder Gill. Harmeet Guro. Tarandeep Kaur. Harpreet Pandler. Rajbir Ramana. Julie Sagapasapan. Kathleen Ray Ciano. Ravneet Sohi. Louis Wenzi Valdez. And now we are presenting graduates with a practical nursing diploma. Nala Ahmed. VU Balbin. Ashley Bitts. Mariel Bonifacio. Margot Brand. Frenelin Canadandin. Kitsun Chan. Sarah Chu. Andrea Dofilis. Danica Frias. Gian Garcia. Zafu Giddy. Kimberly Gosen. Sarah Huyn. Joyce Ibanez. Patricia Izzet. Hazrandi Jakatoti. Kayla Johnstone. Haben Kaya. Liz Lee. Joanna Lim. Nicole Ma. Anila Mohammed Yassin. Sarah Moriarty. Crystal Newen. Hashina Patharana. Crystal Pimentel. Ramanveer Purell. Bridget Raja. Jerry Ima Rivada. Jeff Lawrence Sabato. Matt Michael Soriano. Danica Ambalan. Al Nivilyagas. Jasmine Wong. Iwao Ewan. And that will conclude the graduates for the School of Health Sciences. I would now like to invite Tanis Morgan, AVP Academic Innovation, to the stage.
Thank you, Joellen. I'm honored to present the graduates from the Division of Library, Teaching, and Learning Services. We will begin by presenting students who earned a BC Provincial Instructor Diploma. James Brian Batara, Harley Bredner, Karen Dirksen, Carrie Farnham, Adam Florence, Romeo Flores, Earl Gallivan, Leonidas Gallo-Garde, Sandra Goldsmith, Michael Granger, Heather Greenwood, Gunjan Gupta, Wendy Hatton, Sarah Leschtyler, Laura Lotzer, Noradine Magnaoui, Timothy Ma, Ed Marbach, Joey Matias, Alex Purdy, Jaspal Sandhu, Rachel Schatz, Yulia Shakarova, Haley Shanks, Emma Shepard, Nahid Shirazian, Karen Stainton, and now graduates from the online e-learning instruction program. Natalie Go, Michaela Kwiatkowski, Dwayne Martin, Tamana Singdio. And that will conclude the graduates for the Division of Library, Teaching, and Learning Services, and will also bring us to the end of the Fall 2021 Convocation ceremony. On behalf of Vancouver Community College, I would once again like to congratulate all of our graduates. All of your hard work has brought you to this point, and you should all be very proud of what you have accomplished. Now is a time to celebrate your achievements and look to the future. Thank you to all our students who joined us via Zoom today, and thank you to all of the family, friends, guests, and VCC faculty and staff who have been watching this ceremony on our live stream. A recording of the ceremony will be made available on the Convocation section of the VCC website. We hope you enjoyed the ceremony. We wish you all the very best for a bright future. Thank you very much for being here today and joining us in this celebration. Have a wonderful day.